The other problem with that is if we left that person in general, that those benefits would have appeared into the general budget with Social Security and PERF and all of that. But moving it over to 1112, we don't have money in there for benefits for this person. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
That's true.
Okay, even though that pay is coming from here. Okay, all right.
I guess just to jump in, since we're talking about IT, Alan and R.B. Walters and Mr. Hooker had a conversation today, and we were looking at things in the county and how we could do things differently and all, and because of the discussion of an IT person. And I guess the big thing that I was concerned was from the discussion is they both, I wanted to make sure that we still have money from our budget in there to finish out projects that they're invested in already, that they're working on, still have money. And we didn't take any money from there to cover the expense of an IT person, so we don't report somewhere along the line. And to my remembrance, we didn't take any money away from any of that stuff. We just added in for the IT person.
But are we going to need rowing all year, and is that a place that we can cut?
Well, I guess at this point, to be honest, at this point, nobody's exactly sure, because there's just been a disconnect in where the projects are and what's happening and everything.
Okay.
Not good communication on where rowing is at this point in time.
Then I have another specific question, and this may have been answered during budget hearings, and I slept a few times. In that same cost center, 1112-0069, we have service and maintenance for CSI clerk. It is published at $256,000. It is in the adopted column for $230,000. What is there is a reason for low math?
That's what we talked about. That's all the renewals.
Okay.
The renewals.
Okay.
So they don't come around again until 2024 or 2025.
Okay.
Estimating that would be okay to lower that.
Okay. And then my next question is, I know we discussed it, but I'm in Mr. Orator's budget for marketing. We have published the budget at $80,000 and talked about lowering to $50,000. But my question is, this is money that's not going to be spent unless it's needed. So why our nose despite our faces on this? Because it would be used. Tell us, Nathan, what that marketing budget.
No.
The marketing you would spend.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm fine with cutting that back down. I would appreciate it if you would maybe bump it up from 50 to 55, just because of a couple of small cost increase on some of our annual planning that I know we're going to, but I'm okay with cutting down.
Okay.
You're talking about the professional services line item where.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So in the marketing, his request is to put it at 55. Is there a problem with that?
All right with me.
Anybody have any opposition to that? All right, let's put that to 55.
Yeah, and then there is another cost center, 11 that does have a consultant for $50,000, and that was taken to zero. And why did we take that to zero? Is this not growing?
I think that all that, I think there was like 2 or 3 things in there. I'll have to go back and look at my numbers. I thought I consolidated this all.
I think you did too.
Well,
I have to go back and
Yeah, I
look
think
at where I consolidated them to.
okay, because you've got, it's possible that all of this services, well, we need to decide tonight. You know, we're pardon me?
Not really, but it's good to talk about.
Right.
Let me look.
Okay. Because there are 5 line items that have been zeroed out here.
Yes. And I thought I consolidated those.
So we want this amount of money in that other cost center, is what you're saying. I don't know that we have the same amount of money. I'd have to put them side by side, and I'm not looking at them side by side, I don't. Because we've left numbers in there. We do have budget items in there.
$50,000 consultant, I moved from QCAP, and that should have been under the CDC things. Yeah. $50,000.
Okay,
It may be in both places we published, but for the adopted, I'm showing it as
okay,
eliminated from QCAP.
okay.
The 2,000 was the service and maintenance plus the 11,000 service and maintenance WTH plus the service and maintenance CSI clerk. I put it under service and maintenance agreements at the 256 and then lowered that down on the adopted to the 230. Okay.
I remember that discussion about that.
And then on down to Riverboat, what is in this 25,000 besides the 10,000 that, Community Foundation wanted?
No, I just left it there with how we adopted it. She did 10,000 for the foundation, 90,000 for him.
But in what you gave to us, the adopted budget shows 25. Okay. Okay, are you happy about this? We have this money in there for 2.4 million, but we also have 90,000 in Riverboat. Were we going to pay for that 90,000 with ARPA funding once the CDs? Okay, so have we do it, or am I overthinking?
But you have to have it,
Okay,
budgeted for
okay,
your riverboat to pay it.
okay,
Then you have to have ARPA money, so it's turn around.
okay. So when we're thinking about how high our budget, the $90,000, that is a duplication. Okay. Okay, I think I'm done. I am.
Any other questions or discussions on the,
I have a question. What was our budget last year? 18 million, not even, it's just a little lower, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, like 18.2 maybe, like 18 maybe.
So that's, what is it now?
As Kathy has pointed out, it's a $2.4 million,
Or does that budget include all of the grants now as well?
Yes,
So all those are added in, but it's not money coming out of the taxpayers' pockets.
That's true, but it was that way last year on the DOT too. So trying to compare apples to apples. That's that comparison is there.
But those grants went up, some of them significantly, those grants went up.
Right.
So the bottom line is you're about $1.5 million higher.
Still have the 5% raise included.
Still,
But the parking is a big, because that's being budgeted almost every.
but we don't know yet exactly what it's going to be.
As far off from last year as what it can look like on paper. We're in better shape than, not saying perfect, better shape than what it was.
And our income tax revenue is up about 7 or 8% from this year to next year.
And it's probably gonna go up another 7 or 8% next year too.
Why would it go up again next year? Taxes?
Property taxes.
Rudy, what I'm saying is that just our revenue based on our is, well, 2.85 counting the property tax replacement credit. Just that revenue line item based on our static tax rate increased from last year to this year. Not as much as it did, or I'm sorry, from this year to next year, it will increase by about 8%. Last year was about a 12.5%.
CNN, they don't have. Report the news, not them.
Thanks, Rick. Any other discussion from the board? Go ahead and have Laura read the budget as we did last year.
Are you going to be reading the adopted budget about here? Just the published budget, okay.
So under the casino riverboat fund, 115,000. County jail is at 8,814,275. Reassessment is 130,250. Police pension is at 15,000. Courthouse lease rental, which is 800,000. County highway is 3,936,229. Local road and street is 240,000. Cume Bridge, 393,000. Health, 2.7. Cume Building, 96,000. Continuing education, 2,000. Jail lease rental, which is the bond for the Justice Center, 37,944. Aviation Airport, 207,665. Cume Cap Development, 678,500. Economic Development, 1,615,374. County user fee is 37,300. Local Health Department trust account, 15,779. This is 15,000. Supplemental adult probation services, 64,100. Plat book fees, 8,000. Local health maintenance, 36,847. Drug-free community, 16,000. Pretrial program grant, 81,373. County recovery grant, 162,000. Veterans court grant, 139,334. Court interpreter, 2,500. JDAI grant, 85,000. County elected officials training, 5,000. CASA grant, 21,000. Highway, $1 million. Statewide 911, 250. Grant, firearms training, 18,000. Perks perpetuation fund, 36,271. Arms training, 18,000. Perks perpetuation fund, 36,271. Aviation grant, 350,000. Airport improvements, 15,000. Aviation grant, 350,000. Airport improvements, 630,100. Violence offender, 4,500. VOCA grant, 77,344. Identification security protection, 1,700. Local emergency planning commission, 10,000. Public safety CRGP grant, 9,000. Aviation ARGO grant, 22,000. CARES fund aviation, 12,400. And the ARPA funds grant, 2,407,144. The total published budget is $24 million, $306,997.
Thank you. Any questions on that?
I think because we cut a lot of this is just the published budget. We cut a lot of it, I think it's down.
Wants to comment, please step up to the podium and state your name. Okay, if there's no comment from the public, no further discussion from the board, we will close our public hearing and reconvene our.
And I'm adding
The riverboat, we were going to take that down to 10,000. It's fine, right?